Great. I think I started without the microphone. Good start to the stream. Japanese F1 Grand Prix. I was saying, haven't missed a Grand Prix yet. Not gonna miss one today. Nuh-uh. Not on my watch. F1. Let's get it up. Nice. Where's my map? And what's happened with my timer? Hang on a second. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. 1 second. I'll be with you in a second, chat. I'll be with you in a second. I was born for this. Get the old counter. Get the old fan. Apparently Ray Charles is stepping in for Logan Sargent. Well, he'll crash less. Absolutely full grandstands here, by the way, at Japan. Awesome to see. Do I have everything? I think I have everything. I think I just need to expand the driver list. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, bear with me. 1 second. I look confused. Because I am confused. One more thing to do. One more thing. Now we're talking. I don't know why I still have old K-Mag going around without. Get ye old chat up. Want to give one more? Gareth Yates, Raj, Rudrant, Flacker. Yeah, let me just sort that out. Hang on a second. Funky as well. All the crew. All of the crew. 100 people watching. Damn. I'm just floundering. So. No worries, Beef Barley. No worries. Welcome, now, Nawisa Bottoman. 1 second. Why is my eyesight not as good as it used to be? 1 second, bear with me. Bear with me, chat. Bear with me. Hang on, I'll be back. Hang on. Sky have gone to an advert anyway, so nothing to worry about. Okay, now I have it. Just need to... Ah, that's one. That's one. There we go. Welcome, Isabel Flug. How you doing? Well, oh, Sky are not at the circuit. They're at their Sky studio thing. Let's get this fan on. Well, we know what happened last time we were here for a stream. Max Verstappen just binned it. Tires exploded on the second lap. So will we have the same thing here? I'm not sure. I mean, I remember doing the Japan... We were streaming Japan GP last year, anyone remembers, and it was absolute domination for Max. Deadpool, what's the best car to qualify in Daily Race C? I'm not sure, but I was using the Audi R8 in Daily Race B and really liking it. Nobita, Verstappen definitely taking it. I mean, this could be a Verstappen just masterclass here. I think he'll be very irritated about losing the streak, not of his own fault, essentially. Josh, first time watching this year. First 2 races were 3 AM. Last race, I was there. You were in Australia. Very nice. Let me say hello to everyone. Who have I missed? Who have I missed? Derek's here. C's here. Shan GT here. Who have I missed? Who have I missed? Alex Hyde's here. Trini Ben's here. Susie K's here. Gabriella's here. Christopher Rains. Batman. Catty Uji's in the house. Phantom Buster's in the house. Waking up early for the race. David Joe Clott's in the house. Well, I can assure you that there are only moments to go because Formula 1 are doing their intro. Feels ages since I've done one of these. Feels absolutely ages. And it is a Red Bull lockout. It was quite close between the Red Bulls. Perez was not that far behind. Kata Uji is indeed present in the house. Do you think we'll ever have a president watching from anywhere? Alex Mean from Cambodia. Sergeant getting some points today. I doubt it, but that's the big call. If that... Oh my god. If that's your big call, that's your big call. I rate it. Raw Talk from Australia. Ricardo's in the house. Anyone else watching? Anyone else in the house? It's a mad calendar. I think they've gone a bit too much Formula 1 this year. Logie Bear, as he's officially is canon now. Japanese fans just look so passionate about Formula 1. It's great. David saying Sainz can beat Leclerc. Well, wasn't this one of the races last year Piastri did quite well in, but I think this time he's been thoroughly outqualified by Norris. Look at the gap, by the way, between Alonso and Lance Stroll. Alonso all the way up in P5, Lance Stroll down in P16. I feel good. I'm up for this race. I did go to bed quite late last night. I will be honest. I'll be very honest with you. I was not super sensible about this. Welcome, Glowstick. Good morning. Yes, good morning. We're all here. Like Australia, maybe we will be rewarded for those of us that are up early. But people in Australia are just laughing. They're absolutely loving this part of the season. It's easy. But Australians, you are going to pay later. You are going to pay for it later. We're going to be laughing later here in Europe. David says Norris stepped up a gear since the last race. Yeah, maybe he's heard my feedback, which has been just focus on the racing. Yuki Tsunoda again getting into Q3. Ricciardo getting close, but not quite. Suzy, congratulations, 84k. Yes, we did hit 84,000 subscribers yesterday, which is absolutely huge. It's a big number. By the way, why am I still on Melbourne? Do I want to risk moving it? Is there going to be any weather? There was some weather earlier in the weekend. Let's find it. Let us find Australia. Melbourne. Well, there is some weather either side of Melbourne. You might find this very interesting. There is some weather there. There's some weather. Good morning, Kireth community. Yes, good morning, everyone, or good evening, because we are global. 3 PM in Sydney, absolutely loving it. Like I said, you know, enjoy it now. Enjoy it now. I'm getting the hard yards done. This season. David, it feels strange to have Suzuka this time of season. Yeah, I mean, getting out monsoon season though seems very sensible, but it does feel strange. Maybe we start with Japan in the future. I heard they want to go back to starting in Melbourne, which I would like. Welcome, Christopher Bland, House Stark, and Jax as well. Jack's got a card in his name. So the car's on the grid, and the mechanics are moving away. Just 4 mechanics now on each car. Can you hear this background thing, by the way? Have I had breakfast? I have not had breakfast. I mean, I woke up at 5:43 and I think the stream started at 5:45. Welcome, Stemmer. Welcome along, everyone. The Rolex clock ticks over to 2 PM Japan time, and that means that we are on the formation lap. We are on the formation lap. Why don't we do a nations check, everyone? As we're on the formation lap, let's do an old nations check, and then you can see the tyres as well. And let us know where in the world you're watching from. Let's get ourselves warmed up a bit. Let's get ourselves warmed up. Let's go, indeed. So formation lap is underway, I can confirm. Netherlands coming in, India, Australia, Britain, India. Maybe it's going to be strong. Maybe India are going to take their first win of the season here. Or I'd say it might be Israel, India, Wales, Cambodia. Nobody likes Rat Bull, but also Germany. Croatia, Australia, New York, Australia. Australia might have this. Mississippi, New Zealand, Netherlands, Nepal. Welcome, Jolanda Vestige, Hong Kong, Tasmania, Australia. I think it's a battle between Australia and India here. Philippines, India, USA, US, Gold Coast, Australia. Is US in the shout here? Canada, Australia, India, Germany, India, USA, Canada. Gary from the Roval. What time is it in America right now? Australia. Also, what's happened in the wrestling? What's happened with the bloodline? Fitbit for Netherlands, USA, India, England, Germany, Netherlands. Netherlands always such strong representation. We love to see it. South Africa, Antarctica, Australia. I think I'm going to give it to Australia. I think it's close between Australia and India. Man, I just love Suzuka. So the cars are coming through the Casio Triangle. Oh, make sure to share the stream as well. Now's the perfect time. Hit that share button below the stream, that red one. Just share it on Twitter or YouTube or whatever your favourite platform is, and feel free to tag me. I'm on all those platforms. The front runners are going around the last corner now. The front runners are going around the last corner. Max Verstappen leading us out. Will Sergio Perez go Senna, make it Senna and Prost into turn 1? We'll see. They want bloodline rules. It's bloodline rules for tomorrow. Goodness me. It's bloodline rules. Who could have foreseen that? Absolutely nobody. Welcome Raghavid Das in the house. Thailand. I've seen a few people from Thailand. Rory Thompson from South Africa. Same time zone. It's 11:05 in Denver. Okay, it's prime time. Rowan, 1 point for Bottas today. 1 point for Bottas. 10 points for Gryffindor. Okay, the cars are stacking up. By the way, you're going to see what happens on the live timing. I'm gonna call it as I see it. I'm going to call it as I see it for the beginning. If you're a regular here, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. Fernando Alonso was looking very shifty on the grid, looking around. Marshall with the green flag, waves it at the back. 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And it's a great start for Max Verstappen. Just very clearly goes off to cover Sergio Perez at the beginning. Fernando Alonso sniffing around but can't go anywhere. Piastri might try and go up the inside of Alonso. Be brave to do that. So no big change of position at the beginning as far as I can see as they go into the S's here. Again, I'm still going to look at the pictures and then I'll catch up with you. Oh, big crash. That's going to be a safety car. Someone's gone off. It's one of the Visa catch-up RBs. I hope it's not Daniel Ricciardo, because if he is, Liam Lawson, you are almost certainly going to be in that seat for the next race. There's a Visa catch-up RB, I believe, fully embedded in the tyre barriers. Red flag. They've red flagged it. Chat, get your red flags out. Get your red flags. Get your red emojis out. Get your red emojis. They've red flagged this. They've seen the podcast that I did. Driver is getting out. Is it Sonoda? No, it is Ricciardo. And looks like Albon might be out as well. So what happened here? And why has Daniel Ricciardo gone straight into the barriers? Daniel Ricciardo faux show. Ricciardo is out. I think it's in the S's. He looks like he's gone straight into the barrier and he's knocked a load of tyres out. And he looks like he might be trying to clear the tyres away to see if maybe he can get that car, go back into the car and get it going again. Alex Albon saying he's okay. I'm trying to follow this, everyone. So I'm trying to follow what's going on. Oh, there's two. Sorry, there's two. What is going on here? I should explain. Are there 2 drivers in the barrier? I don't believe I've seen the Williams yet. But there's 2. There's a Williams and there's 2 cars in there. But I thought there was 1. There's 2 cars in the barrier. So Alex Albon and Ricciardo are sort of trudging around in the gravel. They both come together and got into the barrier. Oh, I thought it was 1 car, but it's actually 2 cars intertwined because there's loads of tyres have fallen off and they were covering the cars. Very unusual to see that, kind of an old school crash. So what happened here with Ricciardo? Did he get tagged? Oh no, they were going into it was the first left-hander in the S's. So they'd only come around turn 1, I believe, and going into the next left-hander. And they came together, became intertwined. One of them went wide on the outside, spun around, and they ended up going into the barrier together. Pretty crazy crash. Now, what is the urgency about? Do they think because it's a red flag, they might be able to recover these cars? Because it is a red flag situation. So I'm on board here with Albon, who was on the outside for that left-hander, so for turn 2. Oh, it doesn't look like he did too much wrong. And oh my goodness, the halo possibly saved him there, a big accident, because there were tyres absolutely everywhere. And Albon saying he squeezed me, nowhere to go. I kind of am inclined to agree with Alex Albon here. It looks like he had nowhere to go on the outside, but it's one of these situations when beginning of a race where Daniel Ricciardo might have had a lot going on his inside. Ricciardo was taking a selfie. Let's have a look here at Daniel Ricciardo. I am. So he had all the space on the inside. He just was not aware, I think, that Alex Albon was there. Maybe Alex Albon should have conceded the position. By the way, that Visa catch-up RB ain't getting fixed because that front suspension is clearly broken on it. Lance Stroll had a great start. Both of the drivers were out of the car because they were both very animated, and one of them very sarcastically was going like that. I had thought there was only one car in the barrier. I thought there was only one car in the barrier, and the driver was saying that to the marshal, but no, I think one of them was being very sarcastic like that to the other driver. So really silly crash. Oh my goodness, Kevin Magnussen after that just absolutely bullied someone. So I'm having a look here at a replay. Daniel Ricciardo gets out of the car and presumably he's going to go like this to Alex Albon. Have a look at the replay. Couldn't quite see it. That was my understanding anyway of the situation. Anyone from India? Plenty of people from India. So they are recovering those cars. There's a big. It's an old tyre barrier there, which in a way may make it quicker than the Tech Pro. But it looks like the advertising hoarding, which is quite heavy, has become entangled with the cars. Why the restart? Well, they're very quick to do a red flag here, and in hindsight, it's completely the right decision because it's going to take a little while to get these cars out of the barrier. So, am I misremembering? Was there a red flag here last year as well? Am I misremembering that? Logan Sargent crash? Funky saying Albon should have waited. I think Albon put himself in a 3-wide situation on the outside where it was going to be very difficult for him, to be honest. There was a yellow flag immediately followed by a red flag, yeah, but I think it was correct to not do a safety car, basically. Because under safety car, we'd be just wasting laps now. Whereas now we're just wasting time, which is fine, because I got loads of time. Yuki Tsunoda jumps up onto the pit wall behind his team like a frog. Welcome, MK. It seems to be handled as a racing incident. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, the stewards will almost certainly look into it. But my thought, having seen it, is that... So we're talking about turn 2 here. Have a look at turn 2 on the map. Might strictly be turn 3. But the first left-hander... So the first left-hander... Alex Albon was on the outside. Daniel Ricciardo was sort of in the middle because he had... I think... might have been... I can't remember who was behind him. But there was someone else on the inside of him. Might have been Lance Stroll getting a mega start, actually. And Alex Albon just ended up on the grass, and then the outside wheel spun up, outside rear wheel spun up, and that put him back into Daniel Ricciardo. So he tagged Daniel Ricciardo, and then they both went straight on into the barrier there. Well, I need a coffee, brother. I need a lot of things. Right, they're towing away the Williams. They're towing it away. Vegas blames Super GT, where he's just flown over from the Nürburgring. Do we think Logan can score a point? Well, it's just got a little bit more likely. There was someone in the chat at the beginning said Logan's going to score points here. Someone called it. Leon says, bye Ricardo, hi again Lawson. How many people, right, just put in the chat the name of the driver you think should be in for the next race at RB Cash App. Do you think it should be Ricardo or do you think it should be Lawson? Just put Ricardo or Lawson. So all drivers are out of the cars, just chilling. Dropped it on his own. He said he was squeezed, basically. David Joe Clot says Lawson. Isabel, this is really bad for Williams. No, yeah, I mean the chassis should be okay, but I think the front suspension is all messed up. But Yeah, the Williams meme season continues. How are you looking at it again, by the way? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They give more tolerance in the first lap. You say Daniel Ricciardo, he didn't need to open up the corner as much as he did. So, but I think Alex Albon, you know, maybe should have conceded that position there. Not something you want to do early doors. I'm just going to watch on board with Albon here. I can see Liam Lawson's winning the vote. I want to watch on board with Albon. He tried to get up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda early doors. Didn't happen. So he followed Daniel Ricciardo. And he just, yeah, I think that's all on Alex Albon, mate. I think trying to go around the outside there is not a very wise move on turn 1. Lap 1, sorry. And now I'm going to have a look from Daniel Ricciardo's on board. I'm looking at the Ricciardo on board here. Just seeing if he's glancing at the mirrors. I think he had no idea Alex Albon was on his outside. Because to be fair to Alex Albon, he was very much alongside. I think Ricciardo just had no idea he was there. From what I'm seeing from his head movements. I'm on board with Logie Bear now, looking at a Logie Bear replay. Morning, Ian Connor. Good to see you. Been a while, yes. It has been a while, but we are still here. Logan Sargent was having an amazing start. But I don't know how he's lost all those positions again. And on board with Guan Yu Zhou from the start. How was his start? Oh my goodness, he almost crashed into his into a Haas. Logan Sargent did him around the outside. It's a great move by Sargent. But I think Magson absolutely did Sargent silly on the next corner. And Magson almost took out Sargent. I think the drivers have made up now, Alex Albon and Daniel Ricciardo. They're sort of patting each other on the back. Or maybe Ricciardo's made up with Albon. And they are fixing the barrier. There are loads of cars on the track. Goodness me. There's a Honda Civic there. There's about 8 different trucks queued up on the track. I've never seen the likes of that. Gnarly, I hope it's a great race. I hope so as well. Let's try and get to 100 likes if we can. If we do a mass like now, if everyone likes the stream, I think we'll get to 100 likes. I think it will happen. Funky says Ricciardo looks to the left. Yeah, I think Funky realised... So I think, well, unless Funky was racing, I think Daniel Ricciardo realised someone was up his inside. And at that moment he thought, right, I'll just open up this corner then. Ironically, to give the person on the inside some space. But then Alex Albon got Alboned. So... Gnarly hard to blame Ricciardo, but it's Ricciardo's fault. Lewis, why are there 5 flatbeds on the track? Japan, just you can never have enough flatbeds, I think is the motto there. Stefano de Milicalo's there with Her Imperial Highness, Princess Akiko of Mikasa. Christopher Rain says, Ricciardo is Danica Patrick of F1. Keep your sensible takes coming in the chat. No West Vegas, Paul. Look at the votes that came in for Lawson, by the way. Who voted Ricciardo? Ricciardo voted for Ricciardo. Apart from that, I don't think anyone else voted for Ricciardo, to be honest. Noel Christian Robert saying, really disappointed for Ricciardo as my driver. Looks like he's overdone for. The collision has been noted by the FIA, by the way. Liam, funny how commentary blames Stroll. They'll always find a way to blame Lance Stroll. He's just chilling now. He's just chilling. The social media admin just scrolls TikTok in the background. Just going to copy some dank memes. FIA confirms standing start. Well, so when I do my racing, if there's a red flag on the first lap, you normally restart the race in the original positions, actually. That's how it happens in my championships. My FIA when I have my FIA license. So we'll see what the restart procedure will be here. All grin, never win. Is that Daniel Ricciardo? Danny Rick. MW Drum blaming it on Mazepin. Never a bad strategy when in doubt. I think we can all agree it's a 5-second penalty everyone. Have a look at Charles Leclerc here later in the lap after it had been red flagged. So not sure what Charles Leclerc was on about. But it looks like the flag, the whole grid got the red flag as the leaders were sort of going through Degner 2. That's when the red flag happened. Just trying to see if anyone almost ran into the back of anyone else. Yeah, so the red flag, Tsunoda saw at the end of Degner 2. Red flag. Maximum penalty, Ragavidas. Very hard taskmaster there. Israel Flug said, I think this might take some time. Barrow needs repair and get, but it should be quicker than the Tech Pro. Or maybe it's not. Obviously the Tech Pro, they need to link the whole thing. I think drivers were asking maybe were Daniel and Alex Albon okay? Helmet Marco sitting next to Max Verstappen here. A big show of support. Big show, political display of power right here. Andreas, we have to give credit to Ricardo, always finding new ways to mess up everything. Welcome Evolved, welcome to the party. Does anyone know what comes after... Ah, oh, I forgot to mess up. Welcome Asher, how many laps been completed? Just one under red flag. So there was a big crash at the beginning. Maybe someone wants to do a comment and I can pin it. By the way, the cars are not in the grid. The cars are in the pit lane. All the cars are in the pit lane right now. Stemmer says Albon should have known better since he was behind. I think Albon will look back at it in the cold light. I was doing a race the other day, sim racing, if anyone was there, and there was I was going for the lead on the last lap in Barcelona, and had contact with the other car, and the other car crashed out. And at the time, I think me and most of the chat, we were like, that's the other driver's fault, clearly. But then when I looked at it back, I was like, that's kind of my fault, I think. So I had to apologise to the driver. Can we write down a summary of what happened on lap 1? Why we're under red flag? And I see 100 likes, everyone. We did it. That might be one of the quickest 0 to 100s we've ever done. How's the weather looking for the race? Well, why have I done Melbourne? Chat, why have you let me do Melbourne? You gotta keep on top of me. I'll do weird stuff like that. Chat, where is Suzuka in Japan? Chat, where is Suzuka? What island are we talking, chat? What island are we talking? Weather is beautiful. Yeah, weather looks beautiful. There, Logan Sargent just chilling. You know, it's not his turn to crash. Oh, all the trucks are moving now, so I think the barrier repairs might be completed. There we go. It's in Suzuka. Thank you very much. Very helpful. Gerard, Albon should be more careful. Only first lap 3 died. I think the thing for Albon is, the mitigating factor is it became 3 wide quite late in the process. So, but just that's a risk you take if you're on the outside of corners. Anyone who's watching who's a racing driver will know if you're on the outside, it's where the track is. East Coast near Kobe. East Coast near Kobe. It's in the middle of Japan. East Coast near Kobe. Chat, I need some further guidance here, I'm afraid. We've got two race will start at 2:32 local time. I don't know what time it is right now. So 2:32 local time. We've got 2 summaries here. 3 summaries. I'm gonna switch to the Isabel Plug one. It's southeast of the main island. Okay, southeast. Is it under Tokyo? Is it like, where is it in relation to Tokyo? 10 more minutes. It's a vertical line a bit from Nagoya. I can see Fuji. Okay, vertical line down from Nagoya. There's not much down from Nagoya, to be honest. But I'm literally browsing a map and I can't zoom in that much. I've got Nagoya, but there's not. Nagoya's already down. It's closer to Osaka and Kyoto. Okay, I got Osaka now and Kyoto. Where is it in relation to Osaka and Kyoto? I've got it. It's not vertically down from Nagoya at all. It's like 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. I've got it. Oh, damn. Damn crop. Evil crop going on here. There we go. Did we get it? Suzuka's in Japan, very helpful. Just between Nagoya and me. Ricardo went from best to worst and such. Yeah, I haven't seen. Like, okay, do we agree Daniel Ricciardo is a little bit washed right now? He's a little bit washed. They should have brought Liam Lawson in for this race, I think. Pierre Gasly does a cross, points to the sky like he's a American football player. I think he likes his American football. Collision between Albon and Ricciardo to be investigated after race here. There's no need to take up time now investigating that. Let the stewards chill with their tuna sandwiches. They can do that after. You could just Google it. I could, but then I'd have to get on the keyboard and like... Oh. It adds a risk. If I get on the keyboard, I might hit escape or something and the stream ends. Chai says, I think this confirms he is washed. Kyra says, yes, Ricciardo is over. Ricciardo was mentally broken by Verstappen and then mentally broken by Lando at McLaren. In hindsight, should Ricciardo have just stayed at Renault? I mean, yes, he'd be driving the Alpine now. But if he just stayed at Renault, would that have been better for his career? Thomas Daniel blames Alonso for aggressive defense. I'm not sure what Alonso had to do with that, really. Keane, he started to go down. So what weird clock is? It's not 6 o'clock. If you go to Nagoya, right? As far as I can see, Suzuka is on a clock is 7 p.m. from Nagoya. Can anyone confirm that, or am I talking nonsense? Can we confirm or deny? Gerald, they should have put him on softs to split strategy with Yuki. Well, it's kind of irrelevant now. So, yeah, 2:32 local time, which is 32 minutes after the race originally started. We're going to get going again. So it's quite a way eaten into that. I think, doesn't the race need to finish 3 hours from the start of the race? So we have another lengthy red flag. We might be having an interesting discussion there. Yolanda says 7 o'clock in general on an analog clock. Yes, indeed. There we go. Chai confirms on 7 p.m. If there's one thing I know my clocks. Isabel Flug, tire deck expected to be very high due to the track being very hot. We'll see. The drivers are clambering back into their vehicles now in the pits. Liam says, I think he's still got potential, but under big Red Bull pressure. Yeah, he is under massive pressure here. Welcome, Jacko Venet. Good to see you. Who was surprised I'm streaming this morning? Who believed in me? I barely believed in myself, to be honest. JJ in the house with the 24-month badge. I need to get the 36-month badge options to members. It's on my list. I've got big plans for today. I'm doing something big today that I've been meaning to do for a long time. It's going to take quite a few hours. I'm going to do it from start to finish, edit it, and then it's going to be quite exciting. It's not a video, strictly. It's more than that. Josh's lap times last race were on pace. His last qualifying was missed by a deleted lap time. This race missed Q3 by nothing. He isn't as bad as people make out. But sometimes perception is everything. Gabriella said he shouldn't have gone to Renault at all. Maybe going to Renault was a bad move. Phantom Buster hoping Alonso can get a podium. It's not out of the question. Isabel Ricardo said at Red Bull Cyril might still be team principal. Maybe less messy. He would not be at Hyundai. Chai was waiting for me yesterday morning. I ended up watching the race. I ended up watching Q3 yesterday anyway, but just wasn't. I finished so late on Friday. I wasn't ready to stream. Same, I think we did at Australia. Nick DeVries asking, does Alonso have a chance podium? He's in the right area. He definitely has a chance. Finley set an alarm for 5:40 and woke up at 6:15, and you basically only missed 2 corners. So I think you have played the 5D chas. Beef and Body, 2 hours match for racing, 4 hours. Okay, it's 4 hours. Having a look at a super slow-mo here of Alex Albon, who should have batted out earlier in hindsight. Yeah, then went into the tyres falling everywhere. Would have been a bit of a sketchy one without the halo. 5 minutes to the restart. Jack Kennedy is in Nagoya. Jack Kennedy, can you confirm, if you were to use an analog clock, would you describe Suzuka as being 7 PM from Nagoya? Raghava, I hope Hamilton doesn't turn out like Ricciardo for a Ferrari next season. Oh, I think Hamilton next season at Ferrari is such an unknown. I think the odds on it going poorly are quite good. That makes sense. Can Logan score a point today, or should we focus on getting them out of crash? I think Williams might be having a word with Logan Sargent here, saying, Logan, look, depending on what's going on with the other chassis, saying, Logan, we really just cannot afford a crash today. Like, just don't crash it, Logan. Will we always believe in our motorsport? Yes, indeed. To Emir Williams has started a GoFundMe for chassis. Right, the mechanics are on the cars in the pit lane with the tyre warmers, and then we will get going soon. So we only had 43 seconds of clear running. Stemar, do you think Ricciardo's driving style fits type F1 cars? I think Ricciardo should try IndyCar. I think the world is his oyster, I think the same with Sergio Perez. I think Perez should go to WEC. I think tyre management, all that stuff, WEC. I think Ricciardo should go to IndyCar. He wants to be in America doing that kind of stuff. Jack Kennedy's 229. No, I didn't convey the point there correctly. Ricciardo has to change something in his driving style. Well, we saw at Williams that wasn't really possible. McLaren. Speaking of Williams, Alex Albon back in the garage now. He might be explaining things from his point of view. He might be apologising. That's 2 race weekends in a row now. Alex Albon has crashed the vehicle. I'm sure some lip readers will, in the future, be able to see what Alex Albon's saying because he's not covering what he's saying. Standing start procedure. So we are going to go back to a grid. I don't know, though, whether it's going to be original grid order or whether it's going to be as at the point of the red flag. I imagine in Formula 1 is as at the point of the red flag. Charles, Yuki's mods it. They'll never put Yuki in. Well, I mean, should they put Yuki in? Should they put Yuki in? I mean, everyone's saying Yuki to Aston Martin for the Honda tie-up. Welcome, Lex Gaming XRC Club as well. Good to see you. Blacker, I woke up at 5:40 for a race starting at 7, but I prefer Japan timing over many others. Yeah, welcome anyone who's joined us partway through as well. No info on grid order. If you want info on the accident, have a look at the very helpful pinned post. Over 1,000 people watching, by the way. Ricciardo has signed a 2025 Uber contract. I thought Bottas had signed it. Have any of the drivers... Can the drivers change tyres, chat? Chat, can the drivers change tyres in the red flag? Can anyone confirm? I think they have, because Lewis Hamilton's on the hard tyre. Lewis Hamilton's on a fresh set of hard tyres. So Hamilton might be trying to play some 8D chess here and go to the end on hard tyres and not pit. Have some drivers decided to go to the end from here? Thanks, Crow. Appreciate it, my friend. They can. Need to get more likes. Next like target is 200 likes. We push on the like front. They can change tyres, yes. So, let's have a look at the tyre information when it comes through. Let's have a look at that tyre information. All cars may overtake the safety car. Having some flashbacks there. Davina James in a hotel on business, 1 PM in the morning. That is 1 PM in the morning is a bit of a juxtaposition there. But hope the business is going well. May the business be profitable and smooth. Unlike Daniel Ricciardo's driving. Thomas, CEO of Fanatec blames Kireth for his sacking. I don't think my interview with the CEO really had anything to do with his sacking. I don't think well, to be fair, I've had quite a few investment bankers contact me, which is weird, but cool. And he's a nice guy. The guy is just a nice guy, you know. I think you want people like that, passionate people involved. You don't want just suits. He's definitely not a suit. But anyway, that's the other content you see on this channel. Hamilton and Russell changed the hard tyres. Yeah, well, yes, they have. And Ocon on Gasly. So, has pretty much everyone changed to the other tyre? And some drivers going to hard. I think that might be it. Did anyone not change tyre, chat? Did anyone not change tyre? Isabel Flug says tyre update science has gone for fresh mediums. Snowden on softs. I think a lot of drivers have inverted from the mediums to the softs and vice versa, with the Mercedes going to hards. So Mercedes trying something different here, which is interesting to see. Only thing they can't change is car setup, otherwise it's fair game. JJ didn't change tyres. Imagine being the only driver that realised you haven't changed tyres and you got to do a pit stop. But I think the drivers that have changed the softs, they're not going to get to the end on softs. So, oh my god, Liam Lawson is right behind Daniel Ricciardo in the pits like a bad dream. If anyone has sleep paralysis, that's like Daniel Ricciardo. Right, I'm going to have a look at the pictures on my screen and I'm going to catch up with you as the drivers are now on the grid, or starting to form on the grid. So we have Verstappen and Perez on the front row, and then Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz in the second row. So it will be a standing start procedure as everyone continues. Well, not everyone, because Ricciardo and Alex Albon will not far around. Top 3 have not changed tyres. Okay. So the cars continue to come to a stop on the grid, including the Guan Yu Zhou right at the back. So the man will come across the green flag. He inspects. He waves dramatically the green flag. That starts the red light procedure, which is randomised. Here we go. 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Red lights go out. We're racing again at Japan. Yuki Tsunoda gets a great start in the background. The Alpines get a terrible start on their hard tyres. And no change at the front of the grid from what I can see. Again, Piastri trying to go out the inside of Fernando Alonso. So Piastri getting another great start. No contact I can see all the way through. So we get through the S's cleanly this time. There is a bit of double file, but then it all strings out into single file. Fernando Alonso is all over Carlos Sainz here. And looks like Logan Sargent may have gained a few positions. In fact, Yuki Tsunoda has lost out massively. So not sure what's going on with Tsunoda here. But Tsunoda had a great start and he might have sort of run into traffic as we exit Degna 2 and the front runners are going through the hairpin. And we'll catch up with you, but I just want to see what's going on at the front of the grid. So it is still Verstappen Perez. I wonder if Fernando Alonso might try and get a great exit from Spoon here and force the issue with Carlos Sainz through 130R, we will see. But, you know, at the moment, it looks like Fernando Alonso sort of has the pace. And maybe that was a timing glitch with their Tsunoda there. I think it might have been a timing glitch. I think it was a timing glitch with Tsunoda. That was on Sky. Yeah, no one making a move into 130R. Oh, one of the state cars was thinking about it. Pulls back in. So we are going to get our first flying lap underway, everyone. The rookie goat, Fernando. So, yeah, keep an eye. You can see here, the red one is Sergio Perez. Right, anyone remember Sergio Perez in Japan last year? What a terrible race he had. And they put him back in the pits and then told him to sit in the car like a naughty boy, and then they sent him out at the end for like 2 laps. Remember that? Sergio Perez was thoroughly embarrassed at Japan last season. I wonder if he's going to really take it to Max Verstappen here. Go on, Perez, son. Looks like Alonso's dropped off a little bit. Off Sainz and Norris. Quick recap if it's not too much trouble. Well, we had the red flag at the beginning where Albon and Ricciardo came together. We're now underway, and it's pretty much as we were down the grid. I'd keep an eye on Charles Leclerc, maybe trying to get past Piastri and then into Alonso. Minichi, this race got me more anxious in my exams. Good to see you got your priorities very, very much set in order in there. Seema would love to check it past Max. Well, Sergio Perez is within a second of Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen might be going, what the hell's going on here? Do I need to pay off Sergio Perez some more? Perez is not taking no for an answer here. Hang on a second. We haven't seen this for a very, very, very long time. What is Sergio Perez doing? He's gone off script. Hulkenberg had a really bad start. Shame to see for Hulkenberg. Logan Sargent, by the way, is off the back of the pack. Maybe just chilling. Please hit the like button. Yes, indeed. If you are watching, hit that like button. Let's get to 200 likes. Sergio Perez looks like he might just be dropping out of the 1 second, though. As Max Verstappen went almost exactly 1/10 quicker than Perez last lap. Meanwhile, look at Hamilton with the gap on George Russell. As there were some overtakes, I think the Alpines are really struggling. I think the Alpines are struggling here, so the Alpines might become a bit of a bottleneck. So keep an eye on Lance Stroll. We'll try and get past Esteban Ocon. Yuki up to P9. No, P10 still. Gabriella says, Perez is tired of playing the sidekick. I don't disagree with you. Sky is showing that the replays already. By the way, look at Lando Norris. He's 2.7 off. And we know the McLarens were pretty decent here last season. I'm having a look at the replay of Esteban Ocon getting off the grid. Yeah, I think it was Hulkenberg had a terrible start. And there was contact between Gasly and Ocon. So Ocon got overtaken by Gasly, and Gasly sort of bumped him as he overtook. Oh, there was a big lockup from, who was that? From George Russell on the exit of turn 1. Almost went off the track. Right, DRS has been enabled and Hulkenberg pits. So maybe there's an issue with Hulkenberg, because I think he got an absolutely terrible start. One of the worst starts in history. Perez, 1.2, did do the fastest sector 1 last time. So Perez is still in the hunt here. Logan Sargent has really dropped off. And we have that Norris, Sainz, Alonso, Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell train. Thomas saying, predicting Russell will bin it on lap 52. Very specific there, Russell. Very specific. Easton says, let Lando cook. So, chat, what are we thinking in the top? How are we thinking he's going to shake out at the top here? Does anyone seriously think that Sergio Perez can take it to Max Verstappen? Does anyone actually think that? It's going to be an absolute madness in the lower midfield, or the back, from Tsunoda, Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Guan Yu Zhou, Logan Sargent, and Nico Hulkenberg now has done a weird strat. Celsius Verstappen, lateral lander is suddenly going to get 500 horsepower in 7 laps. What does that mean? Hulkenberg's on out, he pitted. Isabel Flug, Hulkenberg had tyre issues, it seems. Bad getaway with lots of wheel spin. Yeah, he had a really bad start. Almost like it went backwards. It's one of those. JJ says, no, not going to happen for Sergio Perez. But I'm interested in the Hamilton-Russell battle. We've seen George Russell sort of wipe the floor with Hamilton in the last few races. well, Australia didn't end particularly well for Russell, but didn't end well for Hamilton either. Valtteri Bottas pits. So the state car pits. Why are drivers pitting? What is this strat? Are they all going on to hard tyres now? But why would they just not have gone onto the hard tyres immediately under the red flag? Why are they wasting time to pit stop? I'm having a look at a replay here with Sergio Perez, who went very wide on the exit of Degner 2 under the bridge. Would have been a track invalidation actually in qualifying because it went over the white line. I don't think it'll mean anything in this race. See, Bottas, maybe Bottas was concerned about Hulkenberg and has had to get out ahead of him, but I'm not sure why these drivers went soft, hard, and why they just didn't go hard a few laps earlier. But you explain to me. Welcome, Eugene Gonzalez. Hulk restarted with intermediate tyres. I don't believe that, but that's absolute banter if it's true. Banter strat from Haas there. Samuel, very likely to be 1-2 for Red Bull. Checo could actually challenge Max here. Let's see. Well, I think Sargent will need to box again. I mean, if the deg is going to be high, if these drivers have gone to the hard tyres, they might struggle. I'm looking at you, Mercedes. I'm not sure you're going to get to the end here. Slap the old like button, yes indeed. Charles, I don't know what the difference is, but if Max is in front of Checo, there's no way Checo can catch him. But if Checo's in front, Max needs to catch up. Is it the car or the driver? It's mostly car and then a bit of driver as well. As a Yuki Tsunoda pit, so maybe people are concerned about Bottas and Hamilton, but I just don't understand the strategy of boxing and going on the hard tyre now and not putting the hard tyre on in under the red flag. Like, I don't understand it. You're not really gaining too much here. So Bottas came in, got off the softs onto the hard tyre. There's a little bit of a slow stop, but he still managed to get out ahead of Hulkenberg. Oh, has he undercut Tsunoda? I think Bottas has undercut Tsunoda there, even with the slow stop. Guan Yu Zhou might have had some sort of issue. So Tsunoda might be wondering why the hell is he boxed now, because he was in clear air on the soft tyre, I believe. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, that strategy from RB Cash App. But there's a lot of things about RB Cash App that don't make sense right now, let's be honest. Scottish Numpty doing all this just to hear the Dutch anthem. Yeah, cue it up already, but maybe put the Mexican anthem on the B side. That's all I'm going to say. Crow, I really want Sainz to be on the podium. I low-key root for him all the time. I mean, feel free to high-key root for him as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Deg was too high on Yuki. He's only been out for one lap. What sort of deg are we talking? That is one lap and the tyres just evaporate. Perez seems to have a problem with the trap, maybe. Looking on board here with Kevin Magnussen with a very ballsy move around the outside of someone into turn 1. Was that on Gasly, maybe? Great move by Magnussen. So who else is going to force themselves into a pit stop? And how angry will Yuki Tsunoda be right now? How has Yuki Tsunoda ended up P16 behind Valtteri Bottas when the man was flying? Carlos Sainz saying Lando is struggling a little bit, so maybe Lando's struggling on deg. Maybe he's out of the tyre window. Now Ibiza absolutely needs Sainz on the podium. Well, let's see what happens here, because Sainz looks like he smells blood with Lando, his old teammate. Sean, Alonso to go backwards on the soft tyre. Yeah, Alonso on that double softs where we think the degradation is going to be high. But, you know, Verstappen, Perez, Norris and Sainz, Alonso, Piastri and Leclerc all need to box again. Theoretically, Hamilton and Russell can go to the end. But whether that is an absolute theoretical, I don't really know. But that's the interesting strat they've gone for here. And it looks like a lot of drivers are jumping onto the hard. So maybe drivers have looked at the Mercedes and be like, hang on a second. How are Hamilton and Leclerc keeping pace with all that group ahead of them, even though they're on softs and mediums? Carlos Sainz was very close to Lando Norris, by the way, in the hairpin. So keep an eye on Sainz here. He's about within the second gap. So maybe on the exit of Spoon down into 130R, we might see a move there. Although I don't think there's a DRS zone there anymore. They probably want to keep 130R quite safe. 200 likes. Oh my goodness, chat, you're absolutely on fire today. 200 likes. That is big margin. We're doing well today. We're doing well. Japan's always a good race for us. What compounds are the tyres on? I know what you mean there in terms of the sliding scale, but I'm not actually sure. Maybe Pirelli bought something that's a bit too soft on the spectrum for the temps that we're seeing here in Japan this time of year. Carlos Sainz had big old DRS on Lando and he sort of shaped up into turn 1. He's just trying to intimidate Lando, basically. He's letting Lando, he's not messing around, he's not your mate. Remember, Carlos Sainz, we believe, may not have an appendix in him, but we believe he has that dog in him. Russell, the steering is starting to feel a bit strange. Thank you, Funky member, for 19 months. Welcome all to the most relaxed watch-alongs. Nice to see you all. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy the stream. Great advice from Funky. I can't disagree with any of it. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Tickle the like button, tickle the subscribe button, and let's see what's going to happen in the race. As Guan Yu Zhou is all the way off the back of the pack, but we know he's had a bad start. George Russell not happy with the car. Is he making excuses? We don't know. Maybe he's just sweated over some very important pieces of equipment. Easton saying Russell's going to flop. Welcome Erzatz, Hanzo, Kosas. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like. If you like motorsport and sim racing, this really is the channel for you. If you don't really like motorsport or sim racing, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be slim pickings here. Look at the claps coming out in chat. Looks like Logan Sargent has just overtaken Pierre Gasly. So the hard tyres are not working for the Alpine. But that is an on-track overtake for Logan Sargent, I believe. Let's see if the Sky cameras are going to pick that up. But I believe we've just witnessed greatness. Hamilton, we are seeing high degradation on the medium runners. So, Quiddim and Hamilton, I think I am going to see this overtake. So, Sargent right behind Gasly coming out of the Casio triangle on the last corner. Oh my goodness, Gasly struggling for grip so much on the hard tyre. The Alpine looks absolutely terrible. It looks like it's cooked the tyres or something. No, it looks like coming out that last corner on ice. Logan Sargent with a regulation overtake. And yeah, the Mercedes looking pretty here. Russell is catching up with Hamilton. Isabel Flux, Ferrari doing well on tyres. Chat, if you believe in Logan Sargent, get your Eagles out for Logan Sargent. Easy up to P13 here. People said before the race they were feeding Logan Sargent in the points. No worries, Andy Bedlam Bethel. What has ever worked for Alpine? Not firing everyone and letting people develop the car. Lando Norris boxes here. So Norris gets out of the fire, boxes, and almost certainly will go on the hard tyre, I imagine, to try and go to the end. Logan Sargent is coming for Verstappen. Well, he's a cool 3 seconds a lap off, but, you know, anything can happen in racing. Lando Norris, I assume, has gone onto the hard tyre here. So that's the advantage that Mercedes did. If Mercedes can get to the end on the hard tyre, they have played the 8D chess in the pit stop. Because look at the gap now Norris has to make up on the same tyre, albeit a few laps fresher. Guan Yu Zhou pits again. Doesn't look good for Guan Yu Zhou there. Yeah, I think it is hard tyres for McLaren and Lando Norris. Question is now, will we see Oscar Piastri box Alpinished? Artie, what happened to Hamilton? Well, the Mercedes fell off. He's going to Ferrari next season. Leclerc within a second behind Piastri. I'd be very surprised then to not see Piastri pit. Max is too quick. Yeah, Max has casually just opened up the gap. But look at Carlos Sainz behind Sergio Perez now. Well, actually, it was a little bit deceiving there. Guan Yu Zhou looks like he was waiting in the pits for a penalty. Looked like he was doing a wait. Not sure what was going on there. Is Piastri going to box as I predicted? Oh, yes, he has. Sign me up, teams, to be your strategist. Piastri boxes. Where will he come out? Presumably, it's going to be behind Norris, but ahead of Ocon, I would imagine, as Lance Stroll boxes as well. And Russell looks like he might be starting to apply some pressure onto Lewis Hamilton. Kevin Maxton is going to overtake Ocon on the straight here as it gets from bad to worse for the Alpines. Look at Gasly. In fact, Sargent is going to be ahead of Oscar Piastri. But remember, Sargent hasn't boxed yet. But the Eagles intensify. Sargent is currently in P11, but he does need to box. As I think Bottas gets past Gasly. Tsunoda will want to get past Gasly. The Alpine looks... We called it... If anyone's been watching the F1 show... By the way, the last F1 show went live on the Motorsport channel, so make sure you're subscribed to the Kireth Motorsport channel as well. But we predicted at the beginning of the season that it was not going to be good form for Alpine as Lando Norris goes faster than Sector 1. Welcome to both Kelvin and Alison Smith, sharing the YouTube account. That must be absolute havoc on the recommendations, but I respect it. Yeah, Logan Sargent going round the outside, turn 1, as did Valtteri Bottas on Pierre Gasly. Why is Piastri... Piastri is behind... I wasn't expecting Piastri to be behind Ocon and Magnussen, but it's happened that way. Gnarly. I love F1. Look how gnarly it is. Yes, indeed. What's going on with Leclerc? He's just vibing right now. He's just vibing. Alonso boxes. Alonso boxes. So Alonso will go onto the hard tyre. Alonso will go onto... Where's Alonso going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of K-Mag? I'm not sure what's going on with Kevin Magson's transponder there. Very confusing part of the race strategy-wise. Boy, please, rookie Alonso get podium in Japan. Yeah, Guan Yu Zhou, I think, is out. He's blocked. Hamilton being told to swap positions. Team orders at Mercedes, and it's a big one. Hamilton really slows with the Casio triangle. Oh, is Lewis Hamilton washed? You would never see Lewis Hamilton swap position with Rosberg or Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton swapping positions with George Russell. Hamilton being told to pull rank there. But you can see why, because Russell's going to try and get after Leclerc here. Where did Alonso come out? Alonso came out ahead of Magnussen. So you see Oscar Piastri's had to battle through the pack here. Oh, Hamilton asked it. Even more. What did they say on TikTok? Non-Sigma behaviour there from Hamilton. Hamilton's full. Is this the day where we can be definitively... That was the moment we knew Lewis Hamilton unfortunately was washed. When he said, guys, shall I let my teammate by? Hamilton posed the question. Guan Yu Zhou retired. Yes, indeed. I'm on board here with Tsunoda, who went round the outside of Pierre Gasly in the S's. Just pure embarrassment there for Gasly. I think the Alpines might well finish this race last. Like Logan Sargent, well, we'll see. Sargent needs to box, but arguably the Alpines will box again, even if they're on the hard tyre. We'll see. Sigma Alonso, yeah, you'd never ever hear Fernando Alonso saying, "Should I let my teammate by?" But then again, Alonso only got 2 world titles, and now Lewis Hamilton's got 8 world titles. Hanzo, no, Hamilton still has some fight in him. Well, we'll see. So, interesting how Charles Leclerc is so far off the back of Carlos Sainz. And I wonder if Lando Norris has played some pretty good chess here in comparison with Carlos Sainz. Remember, Lando Norris was in P3, but when Carlos Sainz boxes, is he going to end up quite far behind Lando Norris? We'll see. Logan's going for that 10th place, yeah, but Logan Sargent does need to pit old Logie Bear. But I think Sargent just went round the outside of Esteban Ocon into turn 1. So Sargent is on the move. He's looking legitimate here in that Williams. Found the track limits in FP1. Sergio Perez pits. Wow. Okay, so Perez pits first and Carlos Sainz. Interesting, they both boxed together. Did Carlos Sainz just want to follow what Perez was doing, or was it premeditated? We will see. And are they going to go onto the hard tyre till the end? That looks like the racing tyre right now. Gabriella Merck, team order is out of order. Let us know why you think that, Gabriella. Let us know why. So that's going to temporarily promote Charles Leclerc, but presumably we'll see Charles Leclerc box this lap. So the very interesting thing here is that theoretically, Sergio Perez on the media. Hang on a second. Have they got that right? How many pit stops are we going to see in this race then? This changes everything, chat, because if Perez and Sainz have gone onto the mediums again, then they still need to go onto the hards or the softs at the end. So that means that Russell and Hamilton won't be able to go near the end of this race. So it's a pure decision on what they think is the racing time. And look how quickly Lando Norris has caught. Lando Norris has been lapping 2 seconds a lap quicker than the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes might generally be quite washed here. Chat, what do we think about all of those dynamics? Because it looks like the deg is super, super high, and maybe Mercedes can only really combat the deg by going on the hard tyre. Gabriel Hamilton is just who Hamilton is. He is more than just a driver. He cares about the teams who's being selfless. Perhaps Verstappen boxes. Lap to this felt like a repeat of 2022 Japan at first. Mercedes-Benz struggling with tyres. I agree. Right, Verstappen boxes. Presumably will come up well ahead of Perez. Will he come out ahead of Russell? Oh, goodness me. Where's Verstappen going to come out? George Russell round the outside. Or have they got it to perfection? Lando Norris overtakes Hamilton. Great pit stop there by Verstappen, coming out just ahead of George Russell, I believe. No, Russell ahead of Verstappen. Oh, maybe they've cooked it. Maybe they've cooked it here. No, Verstappen goes back ahead. I can't call it. I need to see the live pictures. Looks like, I mean, very risky move from Verstappen, considering he was lapping so much quicker ahead of the Mercedes. You think they could have given it a couple more laps, but they were perhaps internally worried about the Perez undercut. And I can confirm that Russell came out well ahead of Verstappen. Russell was well ahead of Verstappen. As incredibly, the director's focusing on the battle behind. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, we want to see the battle for the lead here, because there is rarely a battle for the lead, for position. Oh, he's gone to another replay. Is the director washed? 2,000 watchers, welcome everyone. If you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and just relax. Welcome Judith. Pierre Gasly boxes, so that's off the hard tyre. It goes from bad to worse for the Alpines there. Are we going to see Leclerc box anytime soon, or is he going to do... What if Leclerc is the ultimate wingman, and it was Max Verstappen going round the outside? Oh my goodness, no, where did he do this? Was it into Spoon? Was it into Spoon? No, it wasn't into Spoon. The live timing was wrong. No, I'm looking at Perez. I'm looking at Perez behind Hamilton, and he must have got the move done into 130R. My bad. Yeah, Perez into 130R. Oh, it was a brave move by Perez. Oh, one of the great moves. One of the great moves by Sergio Perez. He was behind Lewis Hamilton coming into 130R. Shades of Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher there. What a move. Well, it wasn't around the outside. It was on the inside into 130R. One of the great moves there from Sergio Perez. Thank you, Kinceles. As we see George Russell get overtaken by Lando Norris. So that strat has really worked for Lando. And we'll see Sergio Perez surely get past Russell. So I feel like the Mercedes hype at the beginning of the weekend has well and truly evaporated here. People shouting Sainz in the chat. Sainz looking fast. People are on Sainz watch. So I would expect Sergio Perez here to get past George Russell. Is he going to do a 130R move again? Surely not. I think he's just done it. I think Sergio Perez has done 2 moves into 130R in 2 consecutive laps. Sergio Perez is feeling hot right now. He is warmed up. He is warmed up. Science watch or science watch? People are calling big things about Carlos Sainz. By the way, look how Oscar Piastri just dropped back here. Really, it's not gone well for Piastri, I would say. Big difference between where Norris is and Piastri, having both done the stop And by the way, have a look at the Maxon train as well. Big old Maxon train. But yes, we're seeing Perez sort of filter through. Very interesting that both Lando and Perez have made the same number of pit stops, right? And yet Lando has managed to jump Sergio Perez. Interesting one. Charles Leclerc still needs to box. And where's Charles Leclerc going to come out? Will he come out ahead of Alonso? Yeah, Leclerc is first, but he needs to box. He needs to box. But hopefully he doesn't, and we see a battle on track between Verstappen and Leclerc. Carlos Sainz is going to be all over Lewis Hamilton. Is Carlos Sainz going to try and go round the outside of Hamilton and get it done into Spoon? Possibly. It might be Carlos Sainz into Spoon. Remember, the live timings is just an extrapolation. It's not actual GPS data or anything. Snowder tried to go around the outside of Logan Sargent into turn 1. We're seeing a lot of racing today. Feels like Formula E. By the way, I am going to be live this week. I'm flying to Italy. I'm going to be at Formula E for the rookie test and for the E-Prix on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to be taking you live to the track. I'm going to be live streaming at the track. Going to be interviewing drivers. So make sure you are subscribed if you want to see that. I might email you guys and girls as well if you sign up to the email list at Sim Race News and get your questions you want me to ask the drivers there. A lot of ex-F1 drivers are going to be there. Funky Mercedes looks very slow. So yeah, I'm going to be with Formula E in a few days in Italy. Very much looking forward to it. Max is cooking. People are saying, well, let us see. Can Max get past Charles Leclerc here? Charles Leclerc on the mediums. So Lando Norris making that hard tyre work, I have to say. I think we might see Alonso versus Hamilton, by the way. And Carlos Sainz is not making easy work of George Russell. As Esteban Ocon pits. Oh my goodness. Carlos Sainz side by side with Hamilton. Banging wheels. I think coming out of the hairpin. Carlos Sainz, really close up into the hairpin, was able to get to the inside and sort of the mid part because Hamilton just had like no grip. Little bit of banging wheels. So Hamilton still got a little bit of that dog in him. Did Sainz get the move done into Spoon? Well, the director cut away. Classic move from the director there. Well, we are going to see Verstappen try and battle with Charles Leclerc here. Please don't box Charles Leclerc. Let's make this fun. Let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. That was Carlos Sainz on Hamilton. Charles Leclerc stays out, but Verstappen gets it done easily. Ah, Red Bull just OP. Welcome Kiryu, Kilfero, and Salvador Gomez de Liano. I'm pretty sure it was Hamilton on my pictures. Remember, I'm looking 40 seconds behind, but I might be wrong. It's possible I might be wrong. He is behind Russell at the moment. We need to confirm who has a dog in them. Very important. Look at them, Kevin Maxon train. He's just holding everyone up so Hulkenberg can catch up again. What a teammate. What a pro. Infinity Gaming says, what did I say? I don't know. I'm afraid. I have no idea. We're not even halfway through this race yet, and it feels like it's bubbling quite nicely. By the way, Lando Norris, not a million miles behind Max Verstappen. And does Verstappen need to box again? Will Verstappen be able to get to the end on the mediums? Can Lando Norris go to the end? There's lots of very different strategies. Hamilton on the radio saying, change the strategy, copy Lewis. Yeah, we're just waiting for the window to clear. So Hamilton is not happy about this strategy, but I don't think Hamilton is going to finish this race any higher than P10. I think Hamilton is destined to finish this race in P9, sorry. I think Hamilton will finish in P9. I'm calling it 300 likes. You guys and girls are going absolutely mad on the like front. We pushed to 400. We pushed to 400. Carlos Sainz again on the inside of the hairpin, pulling alongside a Mercedes. Some definitely is George Russell. George Russell being very defensive. Carlos Sainz opens it up inside a Spoon, gets the inside of Spoon, but is he going to run wide? No, just about holds it, and will keep the position. So Carlos Sainz with a very tidy move getting past George Russell, and Lewis Hamilton has got past. Sorry, Fernando Alonso has got past Lewis Hamilton here, as Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Yeah, chat, where do we think Lewis Hamilton's going to finish this race? But there are lots of very different strategies going on. Very different strategies. There's someone with a MotoGP clipboard in the Mercedes garage. Did anyone spot that? If you're watching, someone with a MotoGP clipboard. I got eagle eyes, I'm telling you. It was Fernando Alonso. It was DRS assisted. Hamilton gave a very feeble defense. Basically just, you know, just didn't do anything there. It was the old chocolate teapot defense from Hamilton. Nikosi, Russell messed up the podium. I don't think Russell was ever on for a podium here, I've got to be honest. Isabel Flug, Lando having lots of steering snaps. Well, he's about to have Sergio Perez up his gearbox here. So keep an eye on Sergio Perez on the home straight. And surely Charles Leclerc is going to box soon. Is Charles Leclerc playing 5D chess? Because is he going to go on to a very strong, hard tyre for the end of the race? We will see. Sergio Perez does get past Lando Norris there. Hanzo says P9. What is Gasly doing? Gasly just watched. Welcome Black Darkness. Hamilton P7. Liberty just bought MotoGP and already we're seeing... It's like when... Yeah, it's like WWE and UFC, isn't it? Lewis is done with Mercedes. He's going to go to Ferrari early. George Russell boxes. Ocon be told we need to push now. I am pushing. What are you talking about? That is such a stupid message from the race engineer. Like this, I know what they're saying, but oh, look how many people are boxing in that midfield. Well, hang on. Let's just keep an eye here. Maybe, sorry, I'll take that back. Take the words back out of my mouth and unsay them, which is how things work on the internet. But Ocon's going to be nowhere near this group. I mean, you're told to push. Surely he's going to be nowhere near. Oh, hang on, have a look at Ocon on the pit exit. It was push. Go on, Ocon. Cause another Alpine train. Yes, we love to see it. And Tsunoda's the only driver who's escaped the train. George Russell picks his pits, and I believe went on to another set of hards. I believe he might have gone into another set of hard tyres. So Mercedes are doubling down on the hards. Isabel Flug saying Piastri's rears looking through 10-11. Yes, indeed. Pranel Kireth, it's the greatest. Oh my goodness, what incredible praise. That is very undeserved. Hamilton and Piastri coming together. I think Piastri's having a really bad race here, by the way. I think Piastri's... Oh my... Everyone, they all boxed together. They were like too wide on pit exit. It was a madness. It's a great battle. But the Tsunoda to Gasly... If you can just count Gasly just on the back of that. But that's awesomeness. Russell does go faster in Sector 2. As Hamilton boxes now. Remember, he was behind George Russell, so he'll slot in there. Nico Hülkenberg decided not to box. He's on a slightly different strategy. He boxed earlier, I think, than a lot of people in the race, if I recall. Will Hamilton come out ahead of Nico Hülkenberg? Yes, he will, quite comfortably. And what does this mean for Charles Leclerc? Charles Leclerc, if he boxes now, is going to come out behind Piastri. So I feel like the Charles Leclerc strategy maybe has not paid dividends yet, but he'll be on a fresh tyre. Can he go on hards till the end? It's going to be a lot of pit stops in this race, chat. A lot of pit stops. Vlacker, watching it live, you don't get curious commenting, hanging out in a lovely chat. It's all about the chat, really. It's all about the community. You don't get this community just by watching TV. I'm having a look at the replay of that pit situation where all the midfield came in together. Lance Stroll was involved there as well. And no one waited for anyone. They all just released. It was all unsafe releases. They literally everyone just they were like, we're not waiting, we're cracking on. I think Tsunoda wasn't too happy about it. Good job, guys. Well done. Thank you, guys. Top job. That's not sarcastic. That's genuinely got Tsunoda right ahead of that pack. So he knew how important it was. Lance Stroll's been reported for pit lane infringements. No one was waiting there on the pit release. Just came in. Why is Hamilton out? Well, Hamilton is not out. So Do you want to try that again, Nelly? Let's try that one again. So to take 3 places. Oh, was it all pure pit stop? That is insane. If it was all on the pit stop, then great work by the MasterCard RB Cash App team. Famora, everyone was, that was like a quick fit. Vanika coming around to the realization that Mercedes is actually quite slow. Yes, indeed. Slow realization for Mercedes fans, unfortunately. LA Thorn the Martian, I think it's more than 2 stop for most drivers. Is that a Corvette C8 I spot there? Yeah, what is Charles Leclerc doing here? Because I'm thinking, is Charles Leclerc going to do 1 less pit stop than a lot of other drivers here? Is Charles Leclerc actually basically on the same strategy as Verstappen in terms of they're both going to do another stop? Because believe this or not, you might not believe me, we're not even halfway through this race. We're not even halfway through. Bin says Lance Stroll's severely overrated. No worries, Nelly. Welcome Nick Nance as well. If you are new here and you like this and you want to see me at Formula E next weekend, we do some live streams there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Best thing you can do to make sure that the motorsport videos, it will know that you've subscribed in the motorsport stream. It's like Carlos Sainz had a little wobble there into 130R. Or maybe, sorry, it was Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez still behind him. Boy saying Leclerc will pit stop with the hard tyre. I agree. I think Leclerc's going to go hard till the end. But I just wonder if he's actually done a really smart strategy there. Although, has he had an issue? Because, did he have an issue there? I think Leclerc may have had a problem. Is it a big problem? Hamilton, how did I lose too much time? Just traffic and degradation. What's going on with Charles Leclerc here? Keep an eye on Leclerc. Did he go wide and get some dirty tyres? Maybe on the exit of Degner 2? I'm on board here, looking back from Charles Leclerc. I think he's made a mistake. That's my hunch as a racing driver. Comes out of the S's. Degner 1 was okay. Degner 2, did he run wide on Degner 2? Yes, he did. Oh, he did. He touched the gravel. Degner 2. Dirty tyres. Yeah, visibly dirty. So that's why. Mistake from Charles Leclerc. Let Sergio Perez through. That was an inevitable issue. Leclerc issue was in a Ferrari. But maybe more pertinently is let Lando Norris really close. But Leclerc and Norris pit at the same time. Leclerc and Norris pit at the same time. So Leclerc has just gained a pit stop. Leclerc has played 5D chess here. Leclerc has played 5D chess. He's gained massively. Remember, Lando Norris started this race in P3. So Charles Leclerc, if he stays ahead of Lando Norris, which he does because the Ferrari lads do a good pit stop. Oh, and George Russell's going to make himself a nuisance here. Is he going to go round the outside? Oh my goodness, it's worked out incredibly for Ferrari. It's incredible news for Ferrari here, I believe. They've somehow jumped Lando Norris on the pit strategy, and they've managed to get George Russell as a rolling robot chat. Can we get some Ferrari emojis? Ninja, I apologize, Ferrari. I wasn't familiar with the game. Ferrari have just done one of the great strategy things of our time. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. That is one of the all-time great strats. Remember it. Japan. Look at the Ferrari emojis coming out there. They have pulled that to a blinder because now Charles Leclerc is on presumably fresh hards. Where are you, Charles Leclerc? Yes, fresh hards till the end. Verstappen got a pit again. Perez got a pit again. Carlos Sainz has got a pit again. Charles Leclerc might be in better shape than Carlos Sainz here. Now I see why Hamilton wants to go to Ferrari. Yes, indeed. Alonso will need to pit again because he won't get to the end of those mediums. So Charles Leclerc, even though he made that mistake, still played 8D chess. I'm confused, but that's how it's happened. And if George Russell, I mean, Lando Norris is going to be so frustrated right now. If George Russell, oh, Norris got past. Norris got past. Norris got past. But not it being beaten Ferrari was the best Ferrari decision. Well, we will see. Ferrari on plan Q. Yeah. But let's see now. Has Leclerc needs to translate that pace now. Maybe they only boxed him because he had dirty tyres. But anyway, I think Charles Leclerc right now is provisionally in P3. Roughly. Yeah, I think Charles Leclerc is provisionally in P3. Did Lando... No, Lando Norris went round the outside into turn 1. We've seen there's going to be some great overtakes. Made George Russell look very silly there. Welcome Marina, Jay, Teddy, Sumi and Steph Tibbs. Good to have you on board, everyone. Woke Kiryu is confused. Thank you for the recent sub, Kiryu. That McLaren is great. I mean, the McLaren, the difference between the McLaren and the Mercedes there in turn 1 was just embarrassing for Mercedes, frankly. So keep an eye on people like Sainz, Alonso and Piastri boxing. Roy Ferrari will do the Ferrari thing and lose the podium. Dutchman comes in with the papaya, though. Prancing Horse takes night. Do you want to write my my titles, Mick Rent? Blacker was not expecting this. It looks like there are a lot of things happening in the race. It is a race where there is a lot, a lot of tyre degradation and a lot of things are happening. Not in a good way if you're Alpine, I should add. So, Charles Leclerc, keep an eye on the lap times. By the way, do you want to guess who has fastest lap of the race right now? It's not an obvious one. Charles Leclerc, though, loses 0.3 to Lando that lap, but Charles Leclerc is lapping a second and a half faster than Piastri. Alonso, he's almost a second faster than Sainz. Carlos Sainz is lapping faster than Perez and Verstappen. So, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris are the two fastest drivers on track right now. Oh, thanks, Mick. People particularly loving the thumbnails at the moment. Nelly, I'm new to F1. What does Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3 means? It means different sectors of the track. So you can break a lap into different sectors and sort of see who's doing well in different sectors. It's like if you are commuting by car, you might break your journey into like the road near your house, then the motorway, then the road near your work. See where the traffic is. How can you watch a race live? Well, you have to go to the broadcaster in your country. So keep an eye on the Charles Leclerc Norris pace. What does Piastri do now? Piastri is in a very difficult position, but he wasn't looking good all race, to be honest. And there is Lewis Hamilton in that P9 that I predicted. So I predicted Hamilton wouldn't do better than P9. Isabel Flux in this race is better than Australia. I mean, Australia, we had the drama of the Verstappen retirement. But I agree here. I think Ferrari have really shaken things up with the strategy. And even now, Charles Leclerc is still lapping faster than everyone else ahead of him. And that includes the Red Bulls of Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Nikosi wants Tsunoda to get into the points. I'm surprised Tsunoda's not in the points, but we'll see. Too cool. I'm new at F1. What's betting sport? If you're new to F1, make sure you're subscribed, obviously. That's the best thing you can do, because then you get the F1 show that I record weekly, where we explain everything. But choose your pick of the teams. I would just, honestly, dartboard, choose a random team. Although I wouldn't choose Stake, because they're changing soon. And if you come to F1 and your first team is Visa MasterCard Racing, then I think you take a long, deep look at yourself. How's Leclerc been performing today? Are they racing Suzuka in reverse? Well, Alpine might be. So, is Carlos Sainz going to box here? Because if Carlos Sainz boxes now, it ain't good news for him. I think Carlos Sainz would drop behind George Russell. But he's in a bit of a predicament here because he's losing time. Sainz is not in a good place right now. I wonder if Mercedes are pulling a bit of a blinder here now, because George Russell's going to the end on these tyres. Charles Leclerc, who doesn't need to stop in front? So Charles Leclerc is already thinking about big points. And Charles Leclerc is told, everyone ahead of you needs to box. This is it. Lucia says, guys, Alonso podium is looking unlikely. I'm looking at a Charles Leclerc. I think it's between Leclerc and Norris at the podium. And I'm just asking myself, how's Carlos Sainz got into position? But remember, the later people box, the fresher tyres they'll be on, and the more they can use them. But again, Charles Leclerc taking big chunks out the drivers ahead. Takes almost 2 seconds out of Oscar Piastri. How did Alonso overtake Piastri? I don't know, to be honest. Tyre deg here is brutal. Yeah, people were not ready for the deg. So I think Leclerc and Norris almost need to work together here. David says it's a pity when tyre strategy decides rather than racing. Yeah, but it mixes it up. These are always very interesting ones for us to follow. As K-Mag and Bottas having a great battle. I'm looking at a replay. Oh, big lock-up from Oscar Piastri into the Casio Triangle. Cut the last corner. So Piastri's really struggling here. Piastri needs to box again and he's going to lose a load of positions. Not looking good for old Oscar. Well, not old Oscar, young Oscar. Max is going to be the greatest driver of all times. We will see. So we're going to see Charles Leclerc here. So interesting dynamic because will Piastri make it very difficult for Charles Leclerc, but then a little bit easier for Lando Norris? Sargent's still driving. Yes, he's down in P15. How were they not prepared from Degner? Yes, literally in the name. So when Verstappen boxes, he will come out behind Carlos Sainz. So he might just be waiting out and hoping Carlos Sainz boxes. But when Carlos Sainz boxes, he is going to come out, I believe, behind George Russell. So not just behind Leclerc, not just behind Norris, but also behind George Russell. We are now more than halfway through the race. How did Hamilton even get there? Says Shepo. Is it Shepo Mosh? Shepo Mosh Geshekegi. I'm really sorry. I know I haven't done a good job of that name. I know there's no chance I've done your name justice there. It's one of those ones that's not even in like there's a 1% chance. I just know I haven't. So I'll just apologise in advance there. Right, here comes Leclerc catching up with Piastri. Still not within the 1 second. What happened to Danny Rick? Have a look at the old pin comment. Dutchman, what about all these talks about rumours Matt's going to Mercedes? I don't know if you saw the F1 show, but we think it could happen depending on what happens at Red Bull. But interesting during the red flag here to see Helmut Marko sitting next to Max Verstappen. Right, there goes Piastri in the pits. So Piastri's going to box, presumably come out on hard tyres, and let's see if Piastri has really good pace here and can come back, because there is a dynamic. Do you get the position by boxing early, or do you get the best tyre at the end? But look how far behind Piastri is now. He's got a lot of time to make up. It's possible. No way, it's McLaren. Please don't. It's an African name. Tshepo Moshikengegi. Charles, driver of the day. Well, it's a bit early to call driver of the day, lads. It's a bit early. It's a bit early. So Piastri pits. I don't know if that puts in on pressure. Russell, lots of turbulence down the straight. My helmet is flying off my head. Well, I mean, if I was the FIA, I'd be saying box him then. George Russell, what is going on with some of your messages? Remember we had Yuki Tsunoda here with the seatbelt drama? Anyone remember seatbelt gate? Wasn't that at Japan? Gasly pits for the 8th time. He wants to try some different tyres. Casella's hopes Yuki getting the points. Hulkenberg having balance issues. Welcome Martin Hampson. Good to see you again. Tsunoda was trying to get past Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg had the widest car in the world. As Sergio Perez boxes and Fernando Alonso boxes, but interesting, you can see Leclerc here, I believe, jump Perez. You're going to see Lando jump Perez. And you're going to see George Russell not jump Perez, I believe. So there we go. If Leclerc can go to the end, pit lane infringement for Lance Stroll under investigation, they're taking their sweet time there. Charles Leclerc goes to the end here. How quick is Perez going to be on these tyres? Well, he needs to get past Norris and Leclerc. So Leclerc is now in P3, and I think he'll inherit P2 when Carlos Sainz boxes as well. Gasly's probably not out. He's just probably been lapped, I imagine. 3,000 people watching. That's more people than were in my school. Useless fact of the day there on the morning. So this is why it's worked out really well for Leclerc, because Perez needs to get past Lando, and he might use up some of his tyres depending on how hard Lando fights it. Or Lando might think, you know what, that's not my battle, because Perez is going to get past me anyway, so I'm going to wave him through, get the DRS, and my battle's really with Leclerc. Let's see as we go down out of Spoon into the back straight, into 130R, where Sergio Perez has not been afraid to get it done. As Valtteri Bottas, I think, was unhappy with Kevin Magnussen defending, weaving into 130R. Gonna have a look here. Magnussen goes defensive on the home straight. Yeah, Magnussen, I think, is doing a bit of weaving there. That's definitely a double movement by Kevin Magnussen. So Verstappen boxes as well. So Carlos Sainz, unbelievably, now leads the Grand Prix. Chat, rare opportunity to get your Ferrari motor. I say rare opportunity. Carlos Sainz, is he going to go 2 from 2? We know he's got that dog in him. He's no longer got that appendix in him. So Perez does get past Lando Norris. Obviously, Carlos Sainz, we believe, needs to box again. But what if Carlos Sainz just defends like a madman to Verstappen? Because I think technically, I'm not sure he does need to box again if he's done both tyre compounds. Welcome Susie K, member for 28 months, and Ali, member for 37 months. How many months membership is that combined? I think that's 68 months. No, 65 months membership combined. Which is like 5 years of it. It's incredible support in the chat. The chat is popping off here. 400 likes as well. Keep the likes coming in. Keep the subscribes coming in. There are still 19 laps to go. As Sargent and Stroll box. Charles Leclerc now is going to be under pressure from Sergio Perez. What do you do if you're Carlos Sainz? Do you go Hail Mary here? Because if there's going to be a safety car, Carlos Sainz could be quids in. And Logan Sargent is on track, and he is going to be on cold tyres. So what do you do? Chat, what do you do if you're team principal of Ferrari? Did someone say smooth operator? You said it. Do you have a video explaining F1? I have a few videos, yeah. If you go onto the Kireth Motorsport channel. Science, let's box soon. I think I'm going to lose time here. So Science wanted to box. Science wanted to box. There we go. Can tell us with the quote. Quote that one. Welcome Anna KM and Gilles and Duce. Tima says go for the Hail Mary. Do you go for the Hail Mary? Do you bank on the old safety car? You look like a genius if it comes off. You look like an absolute genius. And honestly, with Kevin Magnussen weaving all over the straight, Valtteri Bottas might just be like, screw this. I'm going to just crash into you. So let's see what happens here. Magnussen is going to defend very heavily again. Sergio Perez does get past Charles Leclerc. So Leclerc drops down to P4. But remember, I think Carlos Sainz is going to need to box here. And Magnussen gets past Bottas. So Magnussen does get past Valtteri Bottas there. Kiri was expecting a Ferrari 1-2. I'm not sure why, but okay. Carlos Sainz ran deep at the Casio Triangle, so I think he's really struggling. I would not be surprised to see Carlos Sainz box this lap, actually. Would not be surprised to see Carlos Sainz jump into the pits. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? No, he isn't. He keeps going. Yes, he boxes. I've got a crystal ball or something. And the crystal ball is also telling me we are going to get 500 likes. Because if we all just smash the like button right now, we'll hit 500. So where does Sainz come out relative to the Mercedes? It's not going to be good for Sainz. It's really not going to be good for Sainz. It's going to be very bad for Carlos Sainz. Even Hamilton, the man who's replacing him at Ferrari. It's terrible news for Sainz. Really bad. But he is going to be on fresh rubber, 17 laps. I wonder what they put him on. Have they put him on the mediums? I'm going to have a look here. I see him rolling in. They see him rolling in the mediums into the pit lane. The Ferrari team are waiting for him with 4 tyres. What are they? B of what compound are you? Hard tyres for Carlos Sainz. Hard tyres for Sainz. So, they still think hard tyres are the race tyre over at Ferrari. And will we see Carlos Sainz easily overtake both of the Mercedes here? And look at the gap Leclerc has between himself and Lando Norris. So Leclerc, yes, he's inherited, as I predicted, that P3. And he is going to the end. Steph says loser Ferrari. Dell, you can see at the top there the laps. Net Kiosk official channel. If you are Ferrari Red Bull, you most definitely do need to worry about the genius losing tyres changed by McLaren. There's a lot of maths going on there, but Nikosi's a Mercedes fan. Chat, let us know, 3,000 people, let us know in the chat which team you're supporting. Emojis are available as well. Let us know which team you're supporting. We'll be interested to know. Are you Red Bull? Are you Papaya? Are you Fry? George Russell pits again? Russell, what are you doing, my guy? What is this absolutely terrible strategy? What are you doing? Does that mean Hamilton's going to pit again? George Russell. What strategy there? Mercedes, you are a laughing joke. Sorry anyone who's pitting Mercedes now. Nikosi Mercedes fan. Katuji Red Bull, Mini McLaren, Elder Ferrari, Cat Martin, Forza Ferrari, Rudyard Ferrari, Cliff Ferrari. We've got a lot of Ferrari fans. Mick Ren Ferrari, Lucia Aston Martin, Amelia Ferrari, Emily Ferrari, Cliff Ferrari, PM McLaren, Fireys Ferrari, Dutchman Papaya, Dimitrium Chad Alonso Racing, Aston Martin, Finley Papaya, William McLaren, Filipos Mercedes, Delbert Mercedes, Joe Mercedes, Walter White Ferrari, Rodney's for Red Bull, Nathan Ducati. Nathan, this is 4 wheels, my friend. I can't explain the George Russell strat. Just absolutely, what a fall from grace from Mercedes. We talked about in the F1 show whether we think Mercedes might just have enough at some point, but like, you know, we've had our fun, Formula One. We're gonna take our stuff and go home. Right, so Carlos Sainz, what are you doing, sir? Because do you need to pit? Because if so, you're going to be right near George Russell, my friend. I think it's Charles Leclerc who's played the blinder here with some amazing tyre conservation early on in the race that enabled him to basically... How is Maxon got ahead of Bottas again? Bottas is going to be fuming. Lando Norris. Oh my goodness, almost crashes. On the exit of Degna 2 under the bridge, he rides the curb. And as he backs off the curb, I think the car bottoms out and he almost spins. Scary moment for Lando Norris there. Good news for Charles Leclerc. Is going to be a little bit more breathing ground as well. The mask tyres Ferrari. How many times the tyres need to change? Great question. You only need to run 2 different tyre compounds in a race. That's it. So, everyone right now has run 2 different tyre compounds. But you can see Perez and Verstappen ran 3 of the same at the beginning. Hamilton saying, should we extend or not? Hamilton being asked, let us know how the tyres are. Hamilton saying, yeah, the tyres are still good. Hamilton, I think, has just got to see this out for 15 laps. But that's my thought. But there was a red flag earlier in the race, and some driver, and the Mercedes took the option to go on the hard tyres. I very stupidly said, oh, maybe they're going to go to the end. But the deg has been way, way, way higher than we've seen at Japan recently in this new slot of the year. Isabel Flog saying Snowder defending really well. What would a safety car do right now? Qui bono, as they say in Latin. Who would benefit under a safety car? Who would... Hamilton boxes? Well, Hamilton wouldn't benefit then. Hamilton boxes. Where is he going to come out relative to Russell? Is it going to be behind Russell? Oscar Piastri is going to try and overtake Chad Alonso, but I don't think it's going to happen in turn 1. Yeah, honestly, 28 more likes and we get to 500 likes. If everyone who hasn't hit the like button hits the like button right now, we will do that. And also, subscriber numbers. I don't know where we can get to. Anything's possible. Hope to see Sainz on the podium, says Lyra Joyce. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because Leclerc... Well, I mean, actually, it's not impossible because Sainz is going to be on fresh tyres here, I believe, right? Need to see the tyre stats come up. So I think Sainz is on the freshest tyres. They went hard to the end, didn't they? Yeah. So keep an eye on the Carlos Sainz pace. And I have to say, Carlos Sainz is lapping a second a lap quicker than Leclerc and Norris. So your wish of seeing if you want to see a Carlos Sainz podium, it could happen, basically. It could happen. We want 100k subs by the 2024. That could definitely happen. If you guys and girls just keep subscribing, if you're enjoying it, you could see us get to 100k subs. I'm going to be flying out to Formula E in a couple of days and creating lots and lots and lots of content for you there, which I'm really excited about. Interviewing a lot of drivers, a lot of the old F1 drivers, taking you behind the scenes of the race. I'm super looking forward to it. 200k by the way, I don't think it is possible, but I think 100k is definitely possible. Hamilton comes out as a fast sector 2, but keep an eye on Carlos Sainz pace. Carlos Sainz, 2 seconds a lap quicker than Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. I'm not even joking. 2 seconds a lap quicker. The degradation is brutal. Surely George Russell is going to eat Oscar Piastri and Fernando Alonso. I think we're going to see a very dramatic end to this race here, and it's all about the strategy. It's all about the strategy. Thank you. Yes, I will be flying out to Italy. I'm loving it. Was actually meant to be in Italy today. Was meant to be at Imola today for something else. But I'm working on something very special later today. Very special. I'm excited. So if you like your sim racing, this is the most exciting thing I've ever worked on. You're going to see why when it comes out. Sainz, am I here on a race? He's asking. Hannah says thank you. No, thank you, Hannah. True, I can't keep subscribing, but I will keep hitting the like button. Just absolutely destroy, just obliterate the like button, my friend. Indeed, slapped at. Right, okay, so Carlos Sainz. Is he going to be again? Keep an eye on the lap times here, as it was a very slow stop. Well, it was a relatively slow stop for Hamilton. The front right was a little bit slow coming off. It wasn't that slow, 3.3. And he went onto the medium tyre. But what a lap tyre is saying here. So Carlos Sainz 34.8. Not quite a second lap quicker, but he's still taking big chunks out of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. And it is Sergio Perez right now with the fastest lap time. Yellow flag! Yellow flag. Why is that? Logan Sargent! The Sargent crash has happened. Are we going to see safety car? Are we going to see safety car? Safety car. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see it? Are we going to see it? Logan Sargent has had the Sargent crash. He's done it this time on lap 42. So if you had 42 in the chat, you've got it right. Are we going to see a safety car? Who does that benefit? Who does that benefit? What's happening here with Logan Sargent? He's on the move again. He's on the move, I believe. So it might be no safety car. There's going to be no Williams for the next race. Green flag. No safety car. No safety car. What happened here? I'm probably going to get the dramatic image very soon of a Williams facing the wrong way at between Degner 1. I'm going to guess he just ran wide. He ran wide on the curb between Degner 1 and 2. Logie Bear. Oh, he's had to... oh, my goodness. He's reversed on the exit. That is so dangerous. I'm not sure that's okay. Logan Sargent reversed onto the exit of Degner 2 on the gravel. Like, that is just ridiculously dangerous. Logan Sargent, try not to crash challenge. Difficulty literally just impossible. I'm not even exaggerating. All you had to do was not crash, Logan. Like, honestly, I think I could get around and not crash. Did he do what I said? Oh, he had a lock up. He had a lock up in Degner 2. He didn't hit the barrier, but he was in the gravel, and he immediately reversed. And I think the reversing was not very smart. I think, you know, kind of impressive he could get out of the gravel, but I think he's to reverse in the way that enabled him to rejoin the track. Welcome, Osu. He needs demoting to corporal. What do we think about? Should we demote Logan to maybe Logan Private? Logan Petty Officer. Learjet, never seen before backing on circuit. I think it's very dangerous. Honestly, that's just me as a racing driver. you know, because you don't. It's not something you would expect, so it's a bit hard to predict if you're coming up behind them. There was an Aston Martin that came and overtook. Sainz v Norris. Yeah, so here we go then. So we've got 10 laps to go, and it's going to be all about, I think, Carlos Sainz. By the way, is Sergio Perez dropping off a little bit? No, maybe not. Maybe not. So keep an eye. I think Carlos Sainz is now the driver that is looking like he might inherit that P3. Meanwhile, can we pull one out for Valtteri Bottas, who again is behind Kevin Magnussen? So it looks like it looks like Carlos Sainz does get past Lando Norris. So Sainz has got past Norris here. Great stuff. Demoted to boot polisher. Demoted to police community support officer. Demoted to cadet. Logan Cadet. I think Ferrari might tell Sainz to keep Norris engaged. Well, yeah. Oh, what do you do here if you're Ferrari? What do you do here if you're Ferrari? Chat, let's play along for this one. What do you do if you're Ferrari here? Do you unleash Carlos Sainz? Look, here are your options. Let them fight, in which case they might crash, and they might let Lando Norris back in. Or do you tell Leclerc to let Carlos Sainz through? He's clearly faster. But you let the driver through who you fired. Or do you tell Carlos Sainz, hold position, and you protect this podium for Charles Leclerc? Again, I talked about it on the F1 show. If you've seen the podcast I'm doing on YouTube, we talked about this. At what point did Ferrari go, you know, hang on, we've got to protect the points for Leclerc. But the dynamic's so weird. Carlos Sainz missed a race, but then he's won a race. And we know Carlos Sainz has that dog in him. Lando Norris, I think, locked up into the hairpin. He did. And at that moment, Carlos Sainz knew. Cliff says, must unleash. Lyra, Sainz to pass. Vanica, Sainz hold position. Dimitrian Sainz will not listen to team orders because he's fired. Incognito, let Sainz through, have Leclerc defend. No, you'd never pit Leclerc here, unless you feel like you want to go for fastest lap. You'd only pit Leclerc if you're going to come out ahead of Alonso and think we want to get fastest lap. Sainz, I'm one more to go for the podium. So Sainz is just letting Ferrari know in no uncertain terms that he doesn't give a damn about team orders and he wants to be on the pod. Nuts. If I was Sainz, my radio, yeah, Carlos Sainz will just unplug the radio from his helmet there. Is Hamilton gaining on Russell? I think it's a little bit academic. Is Russell gaining on Piastri and Alonso? The answer is yes, by almost a second a lap. So we could see George Russell potentially get up to P6. Would be a great result for Mercedes, to be fair, in this race. I think Alonso is arguably sort of unsung hero, driver of the day material. Funky Leclerc can get used to being second driver. Oof. Bring back Nigel for Williams. So I don't think that's going to work. Janos, let Sainz go or Norris might cash app. RB. It's early morning here. It's early morning, I'm going to be honest. But it's great streaming with you all again. 4,000 people watching, I think, as well. So many new subscribers. Incredible. And really excited to keep sharing the motorsport journey with you into Formula E. So Carlos Sainz is just half a second behind Charles Leclerc. Is Charles Leclerc even going to defend? Let's find out. Looks like a regulation change there for overtake for Carlos Sainz. So Carlos Sainz is on the podium. He is on the podium. Carlos Sainz has done it. I'm not sure there were team orders there. I think it was just inevitable. But I'll let you know, because Leclerc was ahead going out of 130R into the Cascade Triangle. But it would have just been a regulation DRS overtake. Oh my goodness, Bottas has gone bad to worse for Bottas. He's now got a Haas behind him. And Aston Martin ahead of him. Did Leclerc defend? Leclerc did defend, so Carlos Sainz had to go around the outside. So Leclerc did defend there. Welcome Tsuki, Styrofoam, Dartjan, Julia Reyes, Janine and... Sir. Gap between Verstappen and Perez getting bigger. Yes, indeed. So, with 8 laps to go, what is there to play for? Is there anything to play for here? Can Sainz catch Perez? Well, Sainz has gone purple in Sector 2. There's a 9-second gap. He'd have to take a second a lap out of Perez. I personally don't see it happening. George Russell catching Alonso and Piastri is probably the one that I see happening most likely. I'm on board here with Lance Stroll, who overtook Valtteri Bottas. How did he do that? Oh, great. No way. Like, yes. Lance Stroll round the outside, then turning into the inside in the S's. It's a great overtake. Delbert says Norris can catch Leclerc. I don't think so. I think you'll see some very stern defence from Charles Leclerc. But have a look at George Russell here. Yeah, there's not enough of a gap for Leclerc to box if you think he's going to lose it anyway and get that fastest lap. At the moment, Carlos Sainz is going to get fastest lap, but keep an eye on Verstappen sectors. Verstappen might just have... He might get angry. Dutch national anthem intensifies. Yes, it does indeed. Where's Bottas? What's happened to old Bottas here? Oh, he's been lapped by Verstappen. Looks like Verstappen is going to lap the field up to P11, which is pretty standard from what we've seen this season, to be honest. So basically almost getting into the points, getting double points. Do you think if Verstappen laps into the points, he should get those points as well? Don't want to celebrate too soon, but Carlos Sainz is the podium. Yeah, I mean, where's Carlos Sainz going to go? Again, I don't want to spoil it, but if you saw the F1 show, we saw the video I put out on the Kireth Motorsport channel. We think Carlos Sainz to Audi is the big brain move, but we think he could be tempted by Red Bull. But we don't think Red Bull would actually be the right move for him. Andy, turn back to him side. Honestly, just go to the channel after stream, have a browse. Subscribe and be part of the community. Yes, indeed. Gonna have this move Lance Stroll did was insane. And then did he follow it up with a move on the Haas? Lance Stroll with two incredible overtakes there. Getting past getting past Bottas and then Max. So Lance Stroll really on the move now, albeit, you know, in the Aston he probably should be a little bit higher. Max Verstappen is going to lap both of the Haas cars. He's just going to lap Max in here as well. And George Russell is now basically within a second of Oscar Piastri. Carlos, smooth operator, get your brass-based instruments out if you think Carlos Sainz has been a smooth operator here. Amit says Audi move would be stupid. You got to watch the podcast, my friend. You got to watch it. Right, George Russell. Will George Russell get some redemption here for Mercedes? If George Russell overtakes Piastri and Alonso, it's big questions on Lewis Hamilton, because it's going to be quite a big gap between Russell and Hamilton in this race. Maureen says goodbye Hamilton. So Maureen, a big Hamilton fan. Cliff Troll was crying, Daddy, I want to drive. Life, get Il Leone onto a treadmill now. How is you from kind of average? Stroll, it's unbelievable how bad our speeds on the straight, man. It's like a different category. Echoes of his teammate GP2 engine. There we go. We got some saxophone in the chat there. Can Leclerc overtake Sainz? No. Next question. Leclerc will need to pit? No. Next question. Yeah, Yuki looks like he's pretty safe getting a point here, although Lance Stroll was definitely on the move. Verstappen's got to get past Stroll. There's only 5 laps to go. It's been a very hectic Grand Prix. A lot of strategy. So let's see George Russell. Does he have the pace in him now? He was still half a second quicker last lap. To get past Piastri here. You think DRS assisted, he can do it. And it looks like we are going to be Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris as our top 5. I can't see that changing. I can't see any change. I will eat a proverbial hat if that changes. But it's really about the Russell, Piastri, Alonso battle. That's very, very, very interesting. Sainz going to overtake Perez. Note that is not going to happen. Red flag lap 51. You're calling it. You're calling it. Someone did call something weird early on. Kyrus says Sainz and Leclerc. Let's do a nation chat this late in the race. Let us know, where in the world are you watching from? With 4,000 people watching, I want to know, is it still going to be Australia, India, Netherlands, USA? We're very strong. Marzo says fired the wrong driver. Maybe the paperwork got mixed up. Wouldn't it be absolute scenes if Ferrari were like, actually, we don't want you, Lewis Hamilton? It could happen. It could happen. Here we go. Well, UK, Germany, Canada, England, Japan. Boston, India, Finland, America, Kenya, Dublin, South Africa, Indonesia, Singapore, Oregon, UK, Philippines, Turkey, Bulgaria, India, South Africa, Germany, Las Vegas, Zimbabwe, Finland, Pakistan, Greece, India, France, Papua New Guinea, UK. Yeah, it's Poland, Cambodia. I think South Korea. I think we pretty much hit Canada, Greece, Bulgaria, Nigeria, Antarctica. I think we pretty much hit Slovakia, Kuwait, Tanzania, Rwanda, Czech Republic. I think North Korea in the house. It's not a red flag, no. Someone just said that in chat. Oh, George Russell with a great move. Oh, up the inside into catch a triangle. Sorry. Incredible move there. Didn't quite come off though, because I think Piastri defended. But George Russell just absolutely sent it up the inside to catch a triangle. Piastri has he has DRS himself, and Piastri defends very hard from George Russell. So Piastri is defending with everything from George Russell there. Hong Kong, we missed a worldwide. Yeah, literally pitbull right now. Literally pitbull. So with 3 laps to go, Russell just slung it up the inside in the catch a triangle, but Piastri, with incredible defence, hung it round the outside. It was a mad move. It was an old late switchback from Russell. Let's have a look here. Is Russell going to try? Oh, Piastri cut the chicane. Piastri cut the chicane. Let me have a look at this, chat. Let me have a look at this. Oh, I think there was enough space there for Piastri. I think that might be investigated. There might be a warning. Russell might be very unhappy about that. He might think he just left enough space. Australia, Netherlands, Suzuka. Are you vlogging in Suzuka? I want to see that vlog. Malaysia, Latvia, Saudi Arabia, Sweden in the house. Max fastest lap. Max just pulled out of the bag there. There we go. That's the one I said to look out for. Oh, there's a lap car in the way. That might be why they're getting some DRS. That might be why. I think there's an Alpine in there. Piastri, he didn't give me anywhere to go in the chicane. I had to cut. Of course, Piastri's going to say that. It's a real test here. Does George Russell have what it takes to overtake? Whoa, look all the new subscribers. Matus, Jonas, Payne, Lucas, Abby, McNaughton, Smitty, Mike, Crashy Driver, and Animisha, Bradley, Mixology, Ionis as well. Bogner Regis. Old school. Vanessa's watching from Alberta, Canada. Remember, we're going to be live at Formula E in a few days' time at Misano for 2 rounds there. Then we'll be back with Formula 1. Maybe doing some WEC this season as well. So if you like this sort of stuff, we'll be there. So it's 2 laps to go, everyone. And I believe there might be an Alpine in the mix in that pack with Alonso, Piastri and Russell. But obviously Russell got really close. Sort of was ahead of Piastri, and Piastri cut the chicane. India, Scotsman in Vietnam. Max just lapped half the grid, bruh. Yes, indeed. That's how he rolls. That's his modus operandi. Right, Russell on Piastri here, potentially. It's going to be very close. Only 2 laps to go. Verstappen might even lap Tsunoda here. It's possible. Looks like Piastri is very close to Alonso as well. So, look at the Alonso Piastri. Yeah, they're all within a second here. 6th, 7th, 8th, all within a second. Will we see some late drama? Russell will have very fresh memories of crashing on the last lap behind Alonso in Australia. He will want to finish this race. Oh my goodness, what's happened in the chat here? What's happened in the chat? It's all kicked off. It's all kicked off. So we're about to go on to the last lap. Verstappen's going to go on to the last lap here. But it's all about that battle. Now Hamilton's on the back of it. Hamilton's really on the back of it as well. So keep an eye into 130R. Piastri's going to be getting the... maybe Alonso is just playing naughty here and just slowing down and letting Piastri get that DRS just for the bants. Thanks, Net Kiosk. Did he use the tyres up in that pass? He might have used ERS. He was on deploy. Marshall Islands. Passionate Derail. Hello from France. Do you have a rail YouTube channel? I do like Do like spending time in France. One of my favourite countries to just be in. It's an awesome country. Right, Russell here on Piastri. Surely it's going to be Russell on Piastri in the last lap as they go. Yes, it looks like it. It looks like Russell's going to get this done on OP. Any more for any more. Russell on Alfonso. It's a repeat of Australia. It's a complete repeat of Australia here. Are we getting deja vu? Is Alonso going to brake check? Is Russell going to call for the red flag because that means that he would keep his position? Very controversial point. Chat, do we think Alfonso's going to brake test Russell here? What do we think? But yeah, Sainz laying it down as the #1 driver for Ferrari again has made Leclerc look a little bit silly. Piastri, by the way, had gone very defensive, but Russell just went straight around the outside. George Russell is a 2.5 seconds behind, so I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anyone in history is ever going to overtake Fernando Alonso in 130R. I don't think it will ever happen. Yeah, Max in the points. Does that mean should he get that extra point now? He's going to get an extra point for fastest lap. You should get a bonus, like a bonus point in rugby. For getting saving twice. There we go. Max Verstappen does win the GP, and he's lapped pretty much everyone. So this is it. I mean, these are the only drivers left. It's complete domination from Max Verstappen. Barely even talked about him. And then it is going to be Alonso, Russell, Piastri, Hamilton. So like I predicted, Hamilton getting P9, that's the best he could do. So it is a Red Bull 1-2. Verstappen and Perez, 12.5 seconds is the gap. That's all on pure driver. And then we see Carlos Sainz on the podium, followed by Charles Leclerc. And P5, Lando Norris. He qualified in P3, ended up P5. Fernando Alonso with a very underrated drive in P6, I feel. The Mercedes falling back. P7 for Russell, P8 for Piastri, P9 for Hamilton. Yuki Tsunoda, another point. He keeps getting them. Nico Hülkenberg, sort of best of the rest, P11. Lance Stroll, P12. Magnussen, P13. Bottas, P14. Terrible day for the Alpines. Not a great day for Logan Sargent, although there shouldn't be any damage to that car. Bad day for Guan Yu Zhou, and then the first retirement for Daniel Ricciardo and Alex Albon as well. That's our 2024 Japan GP at Suzuka, everyone. Where do we go next? Where do we go next, everyone? China! We're back to China. Long time. Wow, the teams might not have a lot of data there. I might be going to China later in the year with Formula E to the Shanghai circuit, so that's potentially on the cards. But yeah, we're going to China in Formula One. First time for maybe 3 years or so. Very long straight at China. Very, very, very long straight. Could see some big overtakes at the end of it. No worries, Deuce. Charles must be replaced. Cliff is saying that Charles may be washed. Very harsh. Sergio Perez deserves respect. Well, Sergio Perez had the most embarrassing race in Japan last season. I think we can agree on that. But he's done better this time around. So, you know, happy days for Sergio Perez this time. Which is good to see. We love to see it. But it is going to be the anthem. It is going to be the Max Verstappen anthem. Unsurprisingly. So, yeah, I mean, Sainz deserves a seat. By the way, if you do want to see where we think Carlos Sainz is going to go, that's the F1 show. I'm just going to pin it. This is the weekly F1 podcast I do. It's on the Motorsport channel. And there's a specific episode on... Oh, it came out on this channel. It's on this channel. There's a specific episode on where Carlos Sainz should go. But basically, make sure you're subscribed to the Motorsport channel because I'm going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes, like going live spontaneously there from Misano in a few days' time. Max Verstappen, the mods are going to be absolutely onto you there. No worries, Kiryu. Was it anyone's first race today? Yeah, who's got good straight line speed? I'll tell you who don't. Alpine. It's going to go bad to worse for Alpine, I think. Anyone's first race? Basically, no top 10. No, it is a top 10. It's just Max Verstappen was so good he lapped into the points, which is a sign that he's very dominant. Nelly's first race. Hope you enjoyed it. Quite an interesting one from a strategy perspective. Every race tends to be different, except Max Verstappen wins them all. Goes over to his team. Does Max Verstappen? He's part of the car. Celebrates with the mechanics. Techno anthem. Massey Edge's first race. Yeah, Sonoda did get lapped. Sonoda. Cameras on him as the Japanese driver. Although I think Iwasa was testing in FP1 as well. No worries, Nelly. Thanks to the chat. We basically have the best chat. We have the best chat in the game. RB Cash App seem quite excited to get that P10 being the points. Looks like they achieved their target. Everyone's happy. Sergio Perez with a good result. Like I said, a far cry from the embarrassment he had here last year. Thanks, Mick Rent. Yeah, China. So China is going to be 21st of April. 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time for China. 2 weeks' time for China. Then we go to Miami, weirdly. And then we go to Imola and we start the European season. That includes Canada. They don't know what to do they? Carlos Sainz looks like a man that doesn't care. He just had his appendix removed. He's very much an inspiration, I think, to a lot of drivers. He's had ups, he's had downs. He's coming through strong. He looks like he's working really hard. He's really focused. Looks like he's really focused on his racing. He congratulates Max Verstappen there. Gets his ticket for his weighing. It's a very old school system. Steven says science to Audi. Steven has seen the episode. No words for Ricardo. Yeah, by the way, I think Could Ricardo be replaced in China? We will see. 100% podium rate for Sainz this season. The race he finished. Interesting. Is Cherry Blossom season? I honestly don't understand the whole thing about Cherry Blossom. I don't. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm really sorry for anyone who's into it. Chai is traveling to Strasbourg next Friday. Won't be on for FP streams. Yeah, so China, we should be doing FP3. Should be doing FP3 in China. No worries, Pranel. You the GOAT. You the GOAT. Who got fast lap? Verstappen got fastest lap in the end. 33. Susie, great commentary. Going out to breakfast here. Going to go Weatherspoon's breakfast. Mel Lane in the house. All from New Zealand. I just love how global we are. I just love that I'm just sat here. There's no sponsors. We're just sat here. And I just love it. I really love this. And I don't like mornings. I'm not a morning person. So the fact I'm really liking this and it's a morning shows how much I like it. Yeah, Verstappen got fastest lap. Mark Webber, number 2 driver, is hosting the post-race. Lots of photographers there, like their photography in Japan. So I always come to get your commentary about the race. So Helfers, thank you. No, thank you for coming along. Thank you for coming along. I appreciate it. And if you do enjoy it, please, 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 like I said, go check out the Motorsport channel. I think this is the latest F1 show. Sometimes they're going to come out on this channel, sometimes on the Motorsport channel. Uploading my karting races there as well. I've been speaking about it for a long time, but we got the old Motorsport channel, which I'm really happy to get off the ground. And yeah, I'm just super excited. So much energy for today. I'm going to get a breakfast. I may have a nap, or I may just power through. I think if I have a nap today, I'll never really wake up properly again. Thanks, Sammy Matuga. What time is it for me? I don't even know. I don't have... The blind is down. The lighting is the same. Oh, it's 8:06. Black says P1 sprint quali race. Oh, is it a sprint race in China? Is it a sprint race? Oh, so it's going to be sprint race on Saturday. How's that work then? Is it Saturday? How's that working? Is it a Saturday sprint race and then quali? They've changed it again, haven't they? Thanks, Andy Bedlam Bethel. Midnight in California. Is WrestleMania still going? It's Bloodline rules, I've heard. Why don't I play us out today? You know what? I want to play us out. Don't play us out enough. Got some more music coming as well. There's some more music. It's a sprint race, okay. It be sprinting. Yeah, 60,000 people following for the stream today, chat. 1,000 people watching now. Yeah, I'm going to recommend, if you set yourself up for this week, I'm flying out midweek. Going to be just shooting so much content, interviewing a lot of drivers. You can see on the Motorsport channel my interview with Felipe Drugovich at the rookie test last year. This year, Jack Aitken is going to be there. Dennis Hauger is... This is all rookie stuff. Dennis Hauger is going to be there. And then obviously, you know, you got people like Nick De Vries is going to be there. Stoffel Van Dorn's going to be there. John-Eric Verne is going to be there. Jake Dennis, Mitch Evans, Nick Cassidy. They're all going to be there. Do I have these? Will they come up on the stream? No, they don't come from this one. But yes, chat, I'm going to play us out. I'm going to play us out.
There was a wild ride, I know at the start you were curious, but my goodness, that was fast and furious.
Right, chat.
All the intensity we had, we've come to the end.
I will see you in Italy. I'll be in Italy next time I see you live. I'll be live streaming at the track. So get your questions in the comments. What you want me to ask, and I'm super looking forward to it. I can't wait. Alright everyone, thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you then.
It's not about the trend, keep going now. Keep going till we reach the end. Till we reach the end. If you had a good time being part of this journey, and the thrill is now making you thirsty, if you want to keep seeing the action, then just drop us a like so you can come back for more. If you're new here, we welcome you with a smile. If you like what you saw, just hit subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to see Kireth card. Join us for the next part. Hope to see you again soon.